JaTavion Sanders out of Texas. Alrighty. So 6'4", 245 pounds. Just 20 years old, guys. Really young. Another guy who played on defense as a freshman. So he's still, again, learning the position. Last year, 23, 14 games, 45 receptions, 682 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 rush for 12 yards, a 75.6 PFF grade. The year before, 13 games, 54 receptions, 613 yards, 5 touchdowns. So 2 really good back-to-back similar seasons there. The big difference when you look at JaTavion Sanders versus Kate Stover is, do you want the guy that's the better receiver, or do you want the guy who is the better blocker? Sanders is the better receiver. Stover is the better blocker. But I do think if it was me, I'd go for the receiver. Again, depending on what I already have on the roster, just because I feel like there's a lot of really good blocking tight ends out there in this league. There's only a handful of really special receiving tight ends. There's only so many of the, even like the T.J. Hawkinsons and people like that of this NFL. I'm not even going to the George Kittles and the Travis Kelce's. I'm saying even of that ilk, and they make a huge difference when you have them. On the pro side, athletic, good hands, can high point the ball very well as well. He's definitely got that former basketball player kind of mentality, Antonio Gates. I don't know if he played in high school. I didn't see anything about him playing in college. I did look for it. Very fast as well for his size. As far as his cons, the blocking is where it comes into. He's a really bad run blocker. So he's not necessarily running from it, though, no pun intended. So, maybe, again, he can improve in that. He's decent at best at pass blocking. So he's not horrible at that, but he's not the I need to get him to really shore up that pass blocking. No. But if you got to keep him in line because you got an extra rusher and you want to make a change at the line at that point, you're not going to regret having him there either. But he's another guy who's very raw again. He started off, like I said, he played high school primarily at defense. He got brought into Texas to be a defender. And they just saw the potential and switched him up at that point there. I have him going like late second, early third is where I think he's going to end up going in this draft there. But he could very well go mid to high second. That wouldn't shock me either because there's only one guy ahead of him, and he's going to go very early on. So it's a matter of how desperate does whoever not get this first guy that needs a tight end go, we better get this guy while we can.
Yeah, I see him on the lower part of the second round, but you're right. Once the numero uno guy goes, it's depending on
I don't think it'd be first round. He's not a first round talent, but it wouldn't shock me for somebody that we think is like a late second to go in the early second just because somebody wants to fill a need. You should never draft that way, but plenty of people do.
Yeah. People get stuck.
Exactly.
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.